Coming up on this hour of American Graduate Day, General Colin and Alma Powell. And the founder of FUBU and one of the stars of Shark Tank, Daymond John.
What's up? It's the Shark Daymond John. Welcome to American Graduate Day. I've been an entrepreneur all of my life, since selling pencils to girls at my school as a kid, to being a part of a co-op program where I worked during the school day. Those early lessons and successes helped me build the FUBU clothing brand and dozens of other businesses. But I may not be standing here today if it wasn't for a great mentor in my life. My friend Tim, he owned a corner store, and I swept up after going to school every day, and I noticed how he dealt with inventory and dealt with his customers. I know better than anyone how important mentoring and entrepreneurship is for students and young minds, which is why I support NFTE and all they do, Nifty. Nifty plays a critical role in establishing the entrepreneurial mindset in students who haven't had proximity to success stories.
I've gained 5 strong leads and 10 commissions.
Nifty helps them understand the determination and the hard work it takes to start a business and be successful. Become an American Graduate Champion. Be a mentor.
Daymond John really is entrepreneurship royalty. And as we've seen throughout the day, a young person's lifelong journey from pre-K to 401k needs a lot of help and even more guidance. Nonprofits and their volunteers can't do it alone. They need the support and participation of the government, foundations, and corporations to really help prepare students for post-graduation career success. To discuss this important collaboration, we're joined by 3 key participants in this space. Doug Michaelman, he's the president of the 1 Million Project and the chairman of the Sprint Foundation. Samir Jain is a CTO of Barclays Investment Bank, and the CEO of American Needs You, Kimberly Harris, joins us as well. Thank you guys, appreciate your time. So Doug, let's begin with you. Tell me a little bit about the 1 Million Project. What is it?
Yeah. An amazing entrepreneur, Marcelo Clare, was named to be Sprint CEO a few years ago. And he said to me, we've got this incredible national wireless network. We need to use it for good. And so we spent some time figuring out what could we do with this billions of dollars of investment beyond sell it to consumers and give them a good experience. And we had identified this problem called the homework gap. And the problem is so much high school homework has to be done online. And yet there are 10 million high school students who, when they leave the school doors at the end of the day, they go home to a home without internet access. And that creates a homework gap. It's a huge inequity. So what we did is we developed and created the 1 Million Project. And over the next 5 years, we intend to help 1 million of those students. And we're going to give them a free mobile device and free Sprint service for their high school careers. And that allows them to learn online wherever they are, whenever they want to do it, and giving them the same ability to go home safely in a safe space, do their homework just like those students in school who are more fortunate than them.
Doing their homework, of course, is critical. Also learning those skills, right? Like you're left behind if everybody else has those tech skills and you didn't get them because your parents couldn't afford technology in your household. Tell me a little bit about what Barclays is doing. Obviously, IT is going to be critical for the growing workforce. What's your strategy?
So at Barclays, the citizenship agenda focuses on employability and helping people gain skills to join the workforce. And this is directly aligned with Barclays' mission, which is to help people achieve their ambition in the right way. Because of our scale and size, we get really good insights into skills that are missing from the communities. And we feel there's a responsibility to do something about it. So we partner with organizations like Perscolas to build platforms where our colleagues can contribute their time and experience to help others through activities like mock interviews, with career counseling, with mentoring, or even to define new curriculums to help people gain skills to join the workforce.
It's interesting. It's what we often talk about, the soft skills, but really those soft skills are the skills today, right, Kimberly?
Oh, absolutely. At American Needs You, we focus on the hard skills as well as the soft skills that are essential to select, to secure, and to succeed in careers. So we work exclusively with first-generation college students from low-income families who have a graduation rate of about 11%. But if a student can make the connection between what they're learning in the classroom and a future career, they're 6 times more likely to stay in school and to graduate. And so that's really what we're all about. What's unique about the program, our intensive career development program, is that we match students one-on-one with mentors who coach our students for about 2 years. They dedicate over 200 hours of support. In fact, we had a workshop this morning where we were touching on interviewing as well as complex decision making. And it's really essential to really work with mentors so that they give our students practical insights and clear ideas as they build out their future careers.
And have you seen a change in those numbers for the students that you're dealing with in graduation?
Absolutely. We're proud to report that 96% of our students graduate and 91% of them are graduating with full-time jobs. And they're earning more than their peers.
Well, that's such great news. That's wonderful. Doug,
the power of mentorship.
It really does. And the 2 years is a long but obviously worthwhile investment. Doug, clearly technology in a family can be expensive. I mean, the reason somebody doesn't have wireless in their house, right, is not because they don't want their kids to be successful. It's because they can't afford it. They can't actually afford the technology. How do you plan to level the playing field for all these kids?
Well, I think that's the true essence of this program, is we're trying to address an inequity. Those students, we all know that everything we do today is on that mobile device. And the world is increasingly going to be that way. And schools over the last 20 years have done a great job of upgrading the infrastructure in their schools, and classrooms across the country are largely wired. And that's happened in the last 20 years. But then there's that student who leaves the building at the end of the day, and they are cut off. And it's a huge inequity, it's a huge unfairness, and that student simply can't compete on a level playing field like the student who does. So by giving them the equipment and the service at no cost to them, they have a chance to succeed and reach their full potential.
Samir, I'm going to ask you the final question. Often these things are framed as charities when you're talking to a corporation. Why is it good business to bring a more diverse mix of young people who can do IT into a company like yours?
So at Barclays, we feel that individuals within the company define the business you do. And so to have a good, sustainable business, you need to have a really diverse workforce. And diversity in every aspect of the word, we think is really important, and we really promote it across the organization.
And that makes for a good business decision.
Oh, yeah. Good and sustainable business. Yeah.
Kimberly, is it a hard pitch to your corporate partners?
Absolutely not.
I kind of knew the answer to that.
We believe in developing mutually beneficial corporate partnerships, and we provide our partners with diverse sources of talent and also volunteer engagement opportunities. And in turn, they provide us with financial support, but also in-kind support. We really try to be strategic about the types of partnerships that we're creating. For example, we worked with a consulting firm that hired a number of our students, but also led our strategic planning process.
Well, fantastic. All right, Kimberly and Samir and Doug, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for talking with us. Earlier, we heard about the nonprofit Nifty from Daymond John, who everybody knows from his work on Shark Tank. Nifty uses Shark Tank-style business pitch competitions to bring the entrepreneurial spirit into high schools. Nifty events, such as one that was recently held in New York City, engage students, corporate leaders, and an array of supporters as students pitch their business ideas with real funding dollars on the line.
What Nifty graduates have is the entrepreneurial mindset.
So for the year, I project to sell 58 units, generating a revenue of $75,400 and a net profit of a little over $22,000.
These are all skills that employers look for, and these students have lived these skills out throughout our programs.
And of that, so because people are so interested in my business, I persevered.
When you walk into a classroom and you start out by telling the kids to let's come up with an idea, something you're passionate about, and then to say to them, now we're going to build a business plan around that passion, around that idea, and this could be something that you do for the rest of your life. They're instantly engaged.
I did a survey of 40 skaters, and out of those 40 skaters, 84% said that they were interested in my product. So out of that, I decided to persevere. Nifty has helped me go so fast in so little time. Just to think that Last year around this time, I was just entering high school, not knowing what I would be doing right now.
I feel like Nifty gave me the tools, and they didn't just give me instruction on how to use the tools, they let me use it the way how I wanted to use it. So you go on our website and you see the events listed. You click on the event that you wish to partake in, and then you book. It's as easy as that.
There's really two things that can really influence the outcome of success. One is, the individual has what it takes. They've got that talent. The second is that we're surrounding these talented youth with the resources and the network of individuals who want to see them succeed.
So one concern I have is with your cash flow and the months where you're going down, where there's nothing happening. So
It wasn't also just with business, it was also like a great relationship we had. My mentors, they're amazing people. My name is Cheyenne Suku, and I'm the founder and creative director of Events on Canvas. Together, we can suspend a moment in time. They have done so much for me, opened up a lot of opportunities for me. So I'm really grateful for that. It's more than just business.
You mentioned a little bit of your backstory. Spending time with your mentee, understanding what is it that he or she likes, and what is it that is driving him, and just tap into that the entire time that you work together. Yes, there's gonna be some more business-driven advice and more people skills, but those are collateral. To me, the biggest point is just to encourage them to make sure that they believe in themselves, to tap into their passion for whatever they like and help them turn that into a career and potentially into their livelihood.
We can keep it really high level here.
They meet mentors, they meet professionals, they meet entrepreneurs, and it definitely triggers ideas about their own future and make choices that are going to benefit them in the long term.
We're only ever gonna make a dent on the nation's education problems if we work together. So it has to involve the private sector, has to involve higher education, has to involve K-12, working together.
So the City Foundation is involved with Nifty because we have a mission to try to tackle the youth unemployment rate. And Nifty's approach to helping young people build the entrepreneurial mindset is exactly what we need to instill in young people to give them the ability to compete in a competitive job market.
With Nifty, and reach out to high school students and surround them with an ecosystem of mentorship is a fabulous leap, which is not theoretical, but is practical for them to actually say, I could build something and I can make this happen.
The students that come to our GRTC Cadet Corps Leadership Education Training in high school, many of them do not have direction as far as careers are concerned. And when they come and hear what our mission is to motivate young people to be better citizens, they wonder how they fit into that. Our basic job is to motivate young people to be better citizens, to show them the way to a future that is gratifying to them.
I transferred from a different school because I was in trouble a lot. Once I joined JROTC, Sergeant Jackson taught me how to be a leader. He taught me how to be the non-commissioned officer in the United States Army that I am today.
Sergeant Jackson, the one thing that stuck with me since freshman year was the fact that we are all unique. It's really stuck with me because bullying was always a big problem for me. But to hear someone tell me that I have something that no one else has was the biggest lesson I could ever take away from Sergeant Jackson.
If you need to stay after school just to mentor and talk about life, he'll stop and do it. And right now he's not a friend, he's a teacher. After I graduate, he will be my friend. And I will constantly use him through life.
The paramount thing is not just the education, not just the leadership, but being a better citizen. And that is the joy of coming to this program. We make them better than they were when they got here.
Making people better is a powerful message. And earlier in the program, we met Mike Petters, who discussed how Huntington Ingalls Industries makes people better through job training and ongoing education. One division of his company has had a job training program in place for almost 100 years. It's the Apprentice School at Newport News Shipbuilding. From welding and ship painting to electrical skills, computer modeling, design of nuclear submarines, the Apprentice School is an education with a purpose, to train the thousands of workers needed to launch advanced ships while they're advancing their careers. So joining us to discuss the program, Elise Felt is a modeling and simulation apprentice, and her mentor is Jason Kinney. He is the manager of leadership and professional development for the Apprentice School. It's nice to have you both here. Thanks. Thank you. So Jason, give me a sense of what you look like. You get a lot of applications. What are you looking for in someone you bring into the school?
Really, any U.S. citizen can apply to the Apprentice School. But one of the things we're looking for the most is anybody that has a love for learning, has an interest in really getting their hands dirty and learning a trade. The Apprentice School, the mission of the school is much more than just a trade. Our purpose is to really provide the company with good craftsmen that are educated and really essentially will become leaders in the company. So, you know, the Apprentice School, when you come into the school, it's just like any standard 4-year apprenticeship. So you would start in a trade or a craft. We have 20 different trades that you can come into, shipbuilding trades. After about 2 years working in your trade and learning in that craft, you can actually apply to get into one of our more advanced programs, salaried programs, where you can continue your apprenticeship in areas of engineering, design, modeling, simulation, things like that.
The thing that's unusual is that you not only don't have any tuition, you pay students to come, and harder to get into your school than Harvard, for example.
Yes, we take in anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 applicants a year, and we hire anywhere from 200 to 300 a year. So it's very competitive, and that's for a good reason. We're making a huge investment. And it's not just training an apprentice to be a good craftsman. We're pouring a lot into these apprentices because they're going to be ones leading shipbuilders when they're done, and many of them begin to lead even as they're apprentices.
So Elise, before you started at the Apprentice School, you had dropped out of college.
I had.
Single mom, 2 kids. That seems like a lot to overcome. What made you decide to go to Apprentice School?
Well, I heard about it from a family member, and they said that they've got benefits, they've got good pay, and my family member who went through the school said that it was a wonderful experience. Yeah, it was dirty and it was hard work, but she learned a lot, and she was able to advance really far. She was in cost estimation, which is pretty prestigious sounding. I didn't know much about it, but I was definitely willing to learn and hear more, and I raced online and signed up.
You started as a pipe fitter, and as I mentioned earlier, you do modeling and simulation. What does Jason, look, let's put Jason on the spot, shall we? What does he do for you, because he's your mentor?
Well, he has been around actually during my apprenticeship in different ways, and as time has gone on, we've sort of forged a bond between us. We both came out of school with writing experience, so when we met in publications committee, part of the student association that we've collected at the Apprentice School, we were able to kind of meet minds on the writing professionalism and what we wanted to represent in the school when we were writing about it. And you know, as you share those moments when you're editing something or trying to get the most out of an article, we really began to forge a vision of the school and the students and what our dreams were for the future. And as our professional involvement with each other has increased, he's a faculty advisor at the school for the Apprentice School Student Association, which is our student government organization. And his advice all the time, he gives so much of his just his thinking off the top of his head, and it's always so positive. It's really had a forming effect on my view of my career.
And how about your life? I mean, how's it been for your family?
Oh my gosh, we have a whole new life ahead of us because of this.
2 boys, how old are they?
They're 10 and 12.
Great ages.
And they've been my rock. You know, they've been my stability. It was really hard working 2 jobs when I first separated from my ex-husband, and I knew I had to go it alone, and so finding something that could bring me home at a regular time every night, and I didn't have to work weekends anymore, it meant that I could be part of their lives.
Well, amazing work. It sounds like you're a terrific mentor, and the program, it sounds absolutely incredible. Thanks, Elise, for talking. Jason, as well, for joining me today. Harnessing technology is also the mission of this Stories of Champions from KUEN, which is in Salt Lake City, Utah.
I love the power of EdTech to reach every kind of student. Some students are college-bound, some students are career-bound, but no matter what their track, technology is going to be a part of whatever they do. As an EdTech specialist, my job is to help increase student achievement through supporting teachers and students in their use of technology. One of the ways that I've been able to help teachers in our district is through the PBS NewsHour Student Reporting Labs project. I get to work with several groups of students around the district and their teachers to produce news packages that actually get to go to PBS NewsHour and potentially be aired by them.
Katie Blunt's mentoring to me is a vital part to my success personally. She has taught me skills that I would not normally have and that I would need in trying to be the successful teacher I want to be.
I consider it a privilege to mentor other people, to be able to help them with the skills I've been able to acquire that they haven't yet, and together make something better. Public media plays a huge role in supporting our efforts with education technology and mentoring teachers within our district and around the state.
Technology provides access to information and dynamic ways of connecting skills with opportunity, and it looks like Lauren has made a new connection.
I have. I am with Cami Erickson, Senior Manager of LinkedIn for Good. Cami, thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure.
We know that LinkedIn is the professional networking site, but what is LinkedIn for Good?
LinkedIn for Good is the social impact arm of LinkedIn, and we're a key component to bringing LinkedIn's company vision of creating economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce to life.
How do you go about doing that?
So we know that talent is distributed evenly around the world, but unfortunately, opportunity is not, and we're trying to change that. LinkedIn for Good focuses on helping youth, veterans, and refugees connect to opportunity. And last year alone, we were able to reach 1 million youth, veterans, refugees, employees, and nonprofits through all of our programs.
Why is it important for LinkedIn to put resources behind this program aimed at opportunity youth?
Well, we know that opportunity youth are really excited about starting their careers, but many of them lack the resources that they need to be successful. We believe mentorship in particular is hugely important for youth in this segment, not only because mentors provide much needed career guidance and advice, but also because mentors help youth get access to their networks. And as you know, at LinkedIn, we really believe in the power of networks in connecting to economic opportunity.
And speaking of networks, how can young adults who don't have access to professional networks right now benefit from LinkedIn for Good?
Well, one of the things that we try to do is really help underserved young people understand that LinkedIn is an incredible resource for them. In addition to building out their own profiles, young people can also use LinkedIn to research potential career fields, look at other people that they want to be just like and sort of learn from, and find mentors.
How many young adults have you reached and assisted?
So to date, LinkedIn for Good has reached already 100,000 young people, and we're really just getting started.
And it really starts for you guys with LinkedIn for Good with reaching the young adults by first tapping into the nonprofits. Is that right?
Exactly. We work really closely with a range of over 30 youth nonprofit partners around the world. One of our signature partners is Year Up, who has been an incredible partner to us in helping to bridge the opportunity divide. And what we do with our nonprofits is really twofold. First, we help to integrate LinkedIn training into their core career readiness curriculum so that all young people who are going through their programs understand the power of our platform. And secondly, we leverage our employees and our over 530 million members around the world to mentor youth through these nonprofit partners.
It sounds like an incredible program. Thanks for stopping by and talking to us about it. And you are in for a real treat because right now we get to hear from the U.S. Army Recruitment Band, As You Were.
The legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, and Spider-Man's control, and Batman and his fist.
Hi again from New Orleans, I'm Sheba Turk. The organization YouthBuild offers new hope to those who left high school by giving them classes to get their diplomas or equivalent, while also teaching them construction skills.
YouthBuild welcomes young people who are born into poverty. In YouthBuild programs, low-income young people who've left high school divide their time between working toward their high school diploma or their GED and building affordable housing for homeless or low-income people in their neighborhoods. We discover that there's an enormous range of talent that is being locked out of society, but if the young people are given an opportunity, they will seize it.
I believe as a young man I was searching for something and I really didn't know what it was. I struggled with a lot of things that sort of happened to me as a child. My mother died when I was very young. You know, I used drugs, I sold drugs, committed petty crimes. When I was 21 years old, I was in the Dedham House of Corrections. When I got out, I made a very conscious decision not to go back to my old neighborhood. I knew I wanted something different. I didn't have a clue what that was, but I was tired of being alone and I was tired of running. It was one weekend, I saw an old friend that had a different bop about him. He was talking different, his face was shining, he wasn't high. I said, hey, what's going on? And he began to describe this program that he was in with a sense of purpose and electricity that I'd never seen before. And so he began to describe YouthBuild to me. I was ready for an opportunity. I had no clue that the opportunity would change my life. It was the greatest lesson for me about the power of love, opportunity, and expectation. They expected that I would be something.
Robert Clark is a perfect example of the kind of leader who can emerge if given the opportunity to find his true passion and his enormous talents.
I'm the first YouthBuild graduate to found and lead a YouthBuild program. We serve young people who have been in poverty for decades, so don't really understand that transcending it is possible.
I was a senior in high school. I was halfway into the year. I had just turned 18. It was a week after my birthday. I didn't get caught stealing the car. I actually got caught parking the car. I was almost done with school and made the dumb decision of doing something that literally changed my whole life. What I wound up doing for a while is got caught up in the streets again, selling drugs, being in gang life. From there, incarceration. Seeing Mr. Clark and speaking to Mr. Clark showed me that if this man can come from what I came from and know what I know and be the man that he is now, that I'm seeing and that he's explaining to me and giving me his life story, that definitely gave inspiration for me to change. Since I've graduated from YouthBuild Newark in 2008, I've been working at the Newark Home Depot. I never would have pictured I'd be having a steady job for 8 years, no matter what it was.
What YouthBuild gave to Hassan wasn't really to Hassan. It was to Hassan's children. Hassan was able to become a father and be present in his daughter's lives. That's the most important thing YouthBuild can give to young people and to community, ensuring that less children grow up in poverty.
If not for YouthBuild, I don't think I would be 1/10 of the man that I am today.
There's something about giving back, I think, binds us to community. Watching that all come together is really magical. The more that we can give young people those opportunities, the stronger we could be as a country.
I'm a pilot, a flight instructor, a writer, and I teach an aerospace class to middle schoolers. I have been working at Jeppesen for 23 years. I used to flight instruct full-time. Now, I kind of teach the world to fly.
She talks to you and she wants to know more about why you want to be in the class and what can she do to help you be more interested.
I've been teaching at Grant for 5 years. One of the things that the Enrichment Program does is it provides an opportunity for kids to experience things that they might not have the resources for outside of school.
You don't have a lot of opportunities being able to go into a non-commercial airport and seeing how it works.
I'd like to say that I was a positive female role model for both the boys and the girls in the class so that they can see a woman doing something that has traditionally been a male role. I like to think that I've planted a seed, I've introduced them to something.
I have thoughts of becoming an aerospace engineer. It was this class that was like, yeah, go do that, yeah, that. over there.
I hope she knows that she's appreciated by all the students, and I hope that she knows that she's doing a really good job.
It's very inspiring to see all she has accomplished.
The class isn't about taking tests, it's not about memorizing facts. It's about finding something that they have a passion and a joy for. And I think that's one of the most positive things that I bring into these kids' lives.
Stay tuned for more American Graduate Day!
Don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Isaiah Thomas with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I'm proud to be a part of American Graduate Day. One person that has helped me get to where I am today and has been a big mentor of mine is a good friend of mine, Jamal Crawford, who plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's a guy when I was 15, 16 years old, brought me under his wing and just showed me how to be a pro, not just on the court, but off the court as well. And somebody that to this day I look up to, and somebody that's given me daily advice, not just as a basketball player, but as a person, as a father, and somebody that just really shows respect to everybody. I think mentoring is important just because kids these days, they need somebody to look up to, and I was once in their shoes to where I found somebody I looked up to and he was happy enough to lend a helping hand. And I think that's important for kids these days to find somebody they look up to, find somebody they want to be like, and chase that dream. Become an American Graduate Champion and be a mentor like Jamal Crawford was to me.
That's Isaiah Thomas talking about his mentor, and he's a supporter of Mentor. You can go to americangraduate.org and connect with Mentor to find opportunities in your area. We're now in our final half hour of American Graduate Day and have once again convened a roundtable of industry leaders to discuss the important role foundations and corporations play in working to help prepare students for post-graduation career success. Joining us now, the president of City Foundation and director of corporate citizenship, Brandy McHale, president and CEO of United Way New York City, Sheena Wright, and chairman and CEO of Turner Construction, Peter Davarin. Nice to have you guys. Really appreciate it. So, Brandy, let's begin with you. A Pathway to Progress program. You've recently pledged $100 million to help 500,000 young people around the globe. Give me a sense of exactly how the money's being spent and what you're doing.
Well, currently there are 71 million young people around the world that are out of work. That is 3 times more than the adult population. We recognize that if we want to have strong, healthy, thriving economies, we need to address this issue. And so our program, Pathways to Progress, is investing in community-based organizations around the world, helping young people to develop the skills and the confidence and the networks and connections that they're going to need to succeed in a rapidly changing workforce, and to also work with employers to connect them to this population and help them to rethink and redefine the talent recruitment process from high credential to high potential.
Interesting. And Sheena, in a way, that collaboration that Brandy describes is really what United Way has long been about, and certainly United Way of New York City. Why is that collaboration between nonprofits, foundation, government, private sector, why is that your focus? Why is it so critical?
It's absolutely critical. If we're doing things in a silo, we'll continue to get the results that we have. So if the corporate community can't communicate and translate what their needs are to the nonprofit community, and the education system will continue to make sure that kids are not prepared for the workforce. So we sit in the nexus of the corporate community, the nonprofit community, and government, and our job is to connect the dots.
So Peter, your company, Turner Construction, I mean, you see the signs everywhere. It's one of the biggest in the entire country. Did you guys build this building? Is that right?
We built it a long time ago, yes.
Well done. I like it. We were earlier showed a piece about a program that your company's involved with, ACE Mentor.
Yes.
What was the business upside of being involved in a program like that?
Well, you know, we have a secret, and the secret is the Turner employee. The Turner employee is smart, articulate, great builder, and the men and women of Turner Construction Company are caring, and they care for themselves. They're continuous learners, and they love to teach. So the secret is they love to teach. So if you take the ACE mentorship program, where high schools can participate with other people and you can have your employees teach them about the business ACE, architecture, construction, and engineering, and put them together, they can develop wonderful relationships, internships, employment, and hopefully put together the next generation of leaders in our company. So it's a win for the students, and it's a win for our people, especially in career development.
Why is it so important for you as a CEO who has a million other things to be doing, including running the company, to be so involved in this program?
Well, everything revolves around the environment, not the air and the water and the green, but the environment that you live in every day, working together with people. And if that environment is nurturing, if it's healthy, if it's supportive, it's collaborative, there isn't anything you can't build. So if you can ask people to participate in that system or in that process, as young as they may be, they get to understand what that environment is, and they carry that environment on to the next project and the next project. I mean, construction's hard enough as it is without a good environment, but a good environment really helps, and it does attract a lot of good people. And again, there isn't anything you can't build.
Brandy, your focus is also on your 10,000 workers to be mentors. Why was that such a critical element of this?
So when we talk about Pathways to Progress, typically the headline is we're investing $100 million in philanthropic support. But I actually think that the real secret sauce behind what makes this successful is that we've committed 10,000 city employees to stand up and reach out and be a caring adult and a mentor and a coach to a young person. Obviously, that young person is going to benefit from having someone who cares about them in their life, but I think also that connection is such an important network for them and such a door opener for them. The other piece is, and we've heard it throughout the day, that the mentor gains just as much as the mentee.
Sometimes more.
Sometimes more, but I also think there's another value for companies, and it's that those employees that stand up to be mentors, they turn out to be role models for others in the company as well. And so you're really investing in the leadership and sustainability of your own company.
That's interesting. I do agree. Often we think of something that's, a program that's investing in a community, but actually if you do it right, you can really bring your company along, and it becomes a win-win-win for everybody. Sheena, tell me a little bit about what you think is the most important thing that you're focused on. I mean, how do you pull this all together?
The big focus is making sure that things are aligned and kind of mutually reinforcing. We work with over 100 corporations across this city, and we work with 500 community-based organizations and every major government agency that you can imagine.
Do young people get access to those networks? I mean,
Absolutely.
Do they get the social capital, if you will?
Absolutely. So we ensure that we can activate volunteers, as you've heard described from Peter and Brandy, to serve as mentors and volunteers across the educational institutions that we work in and within the other nonprofits as well. And what we've already said is if you can't see it, it's hard to become it. And the mentors get a lot out of it as well.
Well, you guys, thank you so much. Appreciate the conversation, Peter and Brandy and Sheena. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for all you do. I mean, really, it's quite remarkable moving the needle for so many young people. It's very, very, very essential. When the American Graduate Day Program initiative began back in 2012, the America's Promise Alliance was one of the first organizations to support it. This year, they celebrated their 20th anniversary. It was founded by General Colin Powell and his wife, Alma. Their stated mission has been to inspire, engage, and unite individuals, institutions, and communities to create the conditions for success for every child in America. That is not a small task. We caught up with the Powells recently doing what they love to do the most, which is visiting some of today's youngest Americans who are on their way to becoming tomorrow's leaders.
What's that, honey? What does that do? Did you make that? Did you make that by yourself? Feels great to see kids who are working on projects such as this, and it shows that they are dedicated to completing that project, that they're learning something from the project. Let me do it this way. Okay, put it on here. And that they are being guided in performing the work necessary to create these projects.
We have worked very hard with parents and kids in this community, and it is exciting to see them developing the kind of program that is here. What are you making? What are you all making?
We're making rockets so that we can fly to different planets.
The program is the DC Promise Neighborhood, which is one of 12 federally funded programs around the country that were created by a competition that President Obama instituted. He said he was going to create Promise Neighborhoods, and so we were selected as one of those 12.
Hello, Miss Mary.
How are you?
I am great, thank you.
I'm so glad to see you.
I Am the Promise basically says you're responsible for your destiny. So it's not about you expecting me to come to you and make a promise and deliver on it only, that it's a two-way street. We promise to be here. We promise to support. But then you have to also set goals for yourself and for your family and for your community, and you have to make a promise. So at the end of the day, it's not about what have you done for me lately, it's about what can we do together.
I have been around young people for most of my life. We used to call them soldiers. Now I call them students. Now I call them my kids. Come here, guys. Come here, son. Here we go. Here we go. One of the things I've learned over many, many years in the Army and out is that if you take a group of young people, whether they're in elementary school or just brand new recruits, you have to make sure that you have adults who will impress them. You got them all up there? I see Earth, I see Venus, I see Mercury, I see Moon. Moon's not a planet, though. Moon's a moon. Somebody they can follow, somebody they can take inspiration from. And that is the responsibility of the adults in the lives of these youngsters. You can call it mentorship, you can call it parenting, but the reality is that without a good tribe of people helping these youngsters, they will find a bad tribe of people to take them down the wrong way. Well, you know, American Graduate Day reflects the need for all of us to come together as a team. Why is it so important for government to do that? So that you can start to prepare educated citizens, citizens who can contribute to the community.
I've been in a meeting working on the changes now.
Well, get back in there.
Right.
You need the for-profit sector because these are going to be your employees. And not only will they be your employees, but if you make them your employees and you pay them a decent wage, guess what? They're also your customers. What are we doing here?
Making astronauts.
Oh, to go with the rocket.
When I went to high school, that high school taught trades along with the academic courses. Because everybody in that school was not going to go to college, but everybody in that school graduated with a way to make a living.
What are you building on the moon? Trying to build a house.
It's in a sanitary room.
We really don't know what the jobs of the future are and what the economy will hold. In order to bob along on top of all that, you're going to need resilience, and you're going to need flexibility. You're going to need to be a lifelong learner, and you're going to need to persist over time.
You can't break the cycle of poverty by just education. You need economic well-being in the community. You need jobs. The most important thing that you need to break poverty is to provide jobs to people. But if the jobs require education and you don't have it, then you don't have jobs. And so the two go hand in hand. You need an economic system that is providing jobs in the community, and then you need a school system, an education system that is preparing young people for those jobs. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Huh?
Remember which side you're cutting on. Remember which side your blade is going to be on. Just pull it down dry first.
My name is Wes Davis, and I'm the program facilitator here at Woodward Career Technical High School. It's a career and technical school which encompasses all your academics as well as trades.
Wes is teaching these kids life lessons.
He actually wanted me to get a career.
All right, let's hit the terms again. Slab on deck. All right, let's go over there and get with it. We got to go through a little bit of safety. Y'all are going to be on the ladder.
He was right there by our sides while we were reading the blueprints and getting our hands dirty.
I thought y'all were going to make a whole run on that.
I'm going to be hard on you because I believe in you. You need to learn how to believe in yourself.
You are more than capable of doing whatever I put in front of you. If I didn't believe you can do it, I wouldn't give it to you.
He was like, no, Niani, he said, you have to learn how to do this because when you get into the real world, no one's going to be right there.
The first meeting I had with Wes, he introduced me to 12 of the students. I was blown away.
I know I definitely wouldn't have had a career like this.
So now I'm working with Valley Interior, and Mr. Davis is the one who introduced me to them.
They had definitely had some professional training, and it was all Wes's leadership.
Blade running full speed. I want to get all of them in because we got to get ready to get some hands-on work in.
You're just giving them the confidence and the assurance that you can be successful, that you're going to make it, giving them hope.
Just as Wes Davis is helping build new careers, a model collaboration between government, nonprofit, and the private sector is opening new employment pathways in Northern California. The mayor's Youth Jobs Plus initiative, in partnership with United Way Bay Area, is an alliance with really unlimited potential. And joining us from the office of San Francisco Mayor Edwin M. Lee is Hydra Mendoza, Deputy Chief of Staff, Education and Equity. And from United Way Bay Area, Eric McDonald. He's the Executive Vice President and COO. It's nice to have you both here. Eric, let's start with you. What inspired you to create this program?
Well, two things. One, my own life experience. I was an only child, single parent, trying to figure it out. And it was, at that time, the mayor's youth summer program. And the opportunity to create like experiences for young people. So fast forward, President Obama in 2012 declares this national challenge to corporate America, actually, to create job and internships for opportunity youth. Mayor Lee got excited because from his perspective, he believed that if he could lead the way and challenge the private sector to join him, and 2012, summer of, Nancy Pelosi joined us in San Francisco. We did this amazing launch, challenging employers to literally raise their hand in the room. And we left that room with 1,000 pledges. By the end of the summer,
Wow.
we had served over 5,200 young people.
Wow, wow. So really a model you're creating that other people can build off of. So give me a sense of how it works exactly.
Sure. So we have the mayor's office, the Office of Economic and Workforce Development, our school district, and our Department of Children, Youth, and their families. And what we've created is this kind of hub and spokes. We have nonprofits who are getting young people ready. We have employers who are showing up to create the opportunities both for exposure as well as jobs and internships. And then the goal is to not only give them opportunities for jobs, but also to incentivize them to see a pathway for their own career. So what does this mean in the classroom? Now that I have exposure to, I want to be one of those, whatever those happen to be, and it's really, really
Huge
exciting.
impact. Hydra, tell me a little bit about the mayor's commitment to this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So for us, we look at it as an opportunity for our young people, because how we raise our young people and how they graduate from high school and beyond really has huge impact on healthcare, on public safety, on workforce. And so he really wanted to start this to be an opportunity for young people to get exposed, to put some money in their pocket. Many of our young people, half of the young people that we serve are low-income students, and they're contributing to their family in some meaningful way. And so this was just the chance for them to learn more about what opportunities are available for them. And as our economy was getting more robust, we really wanted to engage the employers to make sure that they're pulling from our own young people. So this was about diversifying the workforce as well as making sure that our economy stays robust and really investing in the young people.
Unemployment is pretty low in San Francisco. Isn't it like 3%?
It's below 3% now, and our young people is a little bit higher, but over the last several years as we've been doing this youth employment, it's decreased significantly.
Why is workforce development then a top priority versus like, hey, that's pretty good unemployment numbers?
Well, I think there are two reasons, actually, that I can think of, and certainly from the mayor's office as additional perspective. But one is, while the overall unemployment is very low, when you kind of unpack that, you find that low-income communities of color, it gets higher. And so the idea is focus on this so that we're creating prosperity and opportunities for everyone, not just a few.
Got it. And from the mayor's perspective, why focus on that small unemployment number?
You know, and I think a lot of what he was paying attention to is how the tech industry was really booming, and what is it that the tech industry could contribute to the young people. So he wanted to really have them think about, again, diversifying their workforce and then bringing them in,
helping
to show
them along on that would be good.
Yes, exactly. That was a priority, and then just making sure that the young people saw that the gamut of jobs that are available in these tech companies.
What's worked, Eric?
Two things I think have worked most significantly. One, young people seeing, for many of them, first time, real opportunity for themselves.
Name some companies that have been successful.
So Starbucks, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citi has been an amazing partner. We have everything from retail, and so Macy's on one, and we have hospitals, we have biotech, and so we've had so many. And what is often the case is that the young person, especially 16, 17 years old, has no idea, right? They want to be what they see. And so our big goal is to help them see a whole bunch of opportunities, a range of diversity of opportunities, and then they get excited in the classroom and hopefully, stay on course.
How many students are we talking about here, Hydra?
Since 2012, we've served about 41,000 young people that have gotten opportunities.
Wow.
And so, one of the things that I thought was really interesting in terms of industry is manufacturing. Because manufacturing, our young people don't know what manufacturing is. And I remember Dash he was a jean maker, a young man, and he pledged one intern job. And that was such a huge step for him as a young entrepreneur and bringing in a young person to help them out. And so it's been really great to see who's been coming out and pledging jobs, and again, just the opportunity for our young people.
We talked a little bit about how this potentially could be a model. How could you scale this and do it not only in San Francisco, but across the country?
Well, a key in San Francisco was the mayor, literally. He decided this was going to be a key pillar of his administration, and so he used his, we often call it the bully pulpit, to draw others. First, his city departments. There are 60 departments in San Francisco who are bringing young people into their departments for these opportunities.
So at the end of the day, it was great leadership, a great idea, all coming together.
Exactly.
Congratulations. This program is really, really wonderful and serving so many young people.
It's very exciting.
It's really great. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
So we have met so many wonderful people and organizations today, both here in person and on tape and in our Stories of Champion features. And I'm proud to say that an incredible 5,256,390 of our champions have been featured on this broadcast. So here is our salute to all of them who've dared with us to dream and walk with pride.
Close your eyes and nothing is impossible for those who try. Just dream to fly as eagles fly across the sky. I know we can.
American Graduate Champion.
Change a kid's life.
Be a mentor.
Become an American Graduate Champion.
Be a mentor.
Be a mentor for kids like me.
Wonderful words and music from John Legend. As we close our 6th American Graduate Day broadcast, we felt it's important to note that 50 years ago, the Public Broadcasting Act of 1967 was signed. It established the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and gave birth to public TV and radio systems that we know today. Upon signing it, President Johnson said, "While we work every day to produce new goods and create new wealth, what we want most of all is to enrich man's spirit." So hopefully this program has done that. Enriched some of you, informed others, and inspired even more to get involved. Reach out to a young person. Become a mentor. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Ready to make this final vow. We'll fight together, we'll live forever to make this all about. 'Cause the power's in the numbers. Hoist together, hoist the colors. Oh, will and let the music soak your soul. Hit the floor and let the beat drop. Feel the groove and make their hearts stop. Everybody looks divine. It's our time to redefine. Toe the line, toe the line. Our hearts are pumping to the bass track. Stomp it out, make them step back. Ladies, make the world go round. Listen up to hear the sound. Toe the line, stand your ground. Get your motor running. Stomp it out, it's coming. Dance all in formation. Ladies, make a nation. And keeps turning, the world is turning. It's time to stop this out. The news keeps rolling, but I ain't listening. He won't chain us down. We're gonna turn it on its head now. We're gonna change the world for good now. Hit the floor and let the beat drop. The groove and make their hearts stop. Everybody, let's divine. It's our time to redefine. Toe the line, toe the line. Our hearts are pumping to the bass track. Let's stomp it out, make them step back. Ladies, make the world go round. Listen up to hear the sound. Toe the line through the ground. Get your motor running. Stomp it out, it's coming. Stand tall in formation. Ladies, make a nation. Get your motor. Stand tall in formation.
Funding for this program was provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. As part of American Graduate, Let's Make It Happen, a public media initiative to help communities prepare all students for success in school, careers, and life.
Yo, what's up, man? This is DMC and a place to be. Become an American Graduate Champion and become a mentor, because the things I do make me a star. You can be too if you know who you are. Put your mind to it, you go real far, like the pedal to the metal when you're driving a car. Rah!